Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our C# programming tutorial series, and in this particular tutorial it's going to be a little bit more of a talking head video. We're not going to do any coding in this video. And in this particular tutorial we're going to talk about inheritance in C#. Now, what is inheritance? Well, inheritance is an object-oriented programming concept that allows us to create parent and child classes. Now, you'll often hear parent and child classes also referred to as base and derived classes. Just know that parent, child, base, and derived, they are interchangeable and they basically mean the same thing. So when we're talking about inheritance, you can create those parent and child classes in a hierarchy. So you can have a parent. That parent can have one or multiple children. Then those children can have one or more children, and so on and so forth. Now, generally speaking, you shouldn't have a class hierarchy go super deep. You should strive to keep those inheritance hierarchies as narrow, as shallow as possible, to avoid any potential issues down the road, whether it be readability issues, performance, testability, stuff like that. There's all kinds of issues that can crop up if you let the inheritance hierarchy go too deep. So if your inheritance hierarchy goes 3, 4, 5 even levels deep, you should probably rethink your architecture, because that's not great. You will run into problems. Okay, so that is pretty much the basic understanding of inheritance, but we need to understand a few other things. The first thing being is that you might be thinking, oh, well, if we have inheritance for classes, do we have inheritance for structures too? No, we do not. Keep in mind, when we talked about structures, I mentioned that they are meant for small bits of data. They are not designed for inheritance. You cannot use inheritance with structures because having inheritance support in a structure implies more than just simple tiny bits of data, and we don't want that, right? So inheritance is reserved only for classes. There are various keywords that you can use in C# to restrict the inheritability of a class. We'll take a look at some of those later on in the series as well. And then there is other concepts that are tightly related to inheritance, such as polymorphism, which again we'll talk about in its own video because it's a little bit more of an advanced concept for inheritance, and it deserves its own video. So that's kind of a little bit of a preview as well as of where we're going, the kind of stuff that we're going to cover in the upcoming videos, as well as just that basic introduction to inheritance. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.